Hey guys, I'm here to show you this look. This is the last and the only work makeup routine you're ever gonna need. I promise you that it's simple. Anybody at any makeup skill level can do it. It'll save you time and you will look like you mean business. Whether you're walking into the boardroom, the classroom, this is the look for you. Let me show you how. All right, let's get started. So the first step you want to make is to prime your face. So whatever primer you use is fine, but it's really good to have something on that base layer of your face, or something to have your makeup adhere to. So a couple pumps, put it on my face, and I try to concentrate it in the areas where I get really oily, which is my nose, cheeks, right above my eyebrows, and my chin. And then we're gonna move on to the next step, which is foundation. I put on my foundation first. I think for me, it just works better. And I have been using the Lancome Teint Idole. It matches my skin perfectly, and that's what I'm gonna use for my foundation. And then I take my stippling brush and work that in. Press it into your skin and then move where you need. And ladies, don't forget the neck. All right, next up, we're gonna go into concealing. Now for ladies who have fine lines, and I have fine lines under my eyes, you want to have as least amount of product as possible, because the more product you have under your eyes where there are fine lines, the more you're gonna make them pronounce and say, hey world, I've got fine lines. And for my concealer, I use the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I use the color Caramel, which is a little bit lighter than what I would normally use because I want to brighten up that area. Couple swipes. I don't like to put too much. I just want a little bit just to brighten. And the skin around my eyes is pretty thin, so I can see like my veins. So I do put it on my eyelids as well, because I want to just make sure that everything has an even color. No more dark circles. Once you have everything blended in, it's time to set. I use Sacha Buttercup powder. Works pretty well. I've been using it for some time. And ladies, once again, this is for you who have fine lines like I do. Baking is not your friend. So you take a setting brush or whatever brush you're comfortable with, and you really want to tap lightly, least amount of product as possible. We really don't want to make those fine lines pronounced. So I just sweep it under the eye. And anywhere else I put on concealer, so I put on my eyelid as well. So I have my eyes prepped, primed, and ready to go, and now it's time for the brows. Now, I have been doing my eyebrows, no lie, since I was 12 years old, so I have used a lot of product over my years, a lot of trial, a lot of error, but this product I'm gonna highly, highly recommend. Benefits precisely my brow. I use the shade 4.5. Now, ladies, this, if you haven't tried it, you need to try it. This is the best eyebrow product I have ever tried. Let me tell you, I've tried a lot. I love the color, comes in a lot of different shades. This is cool enough where I don't have like too brown of an eyebrow, but it matches perfectly with my skin and with my hair. It stays all day. I love it. So we can use this to fill in the eyebrows, and I like a stronger brow. I'm gonna do it off camera really quick and come back. Woo, got my brows on. I am a whole new woman. Don't recognize me, do you? And I like to do a little bit of contouring. If you don't like to contour, you can do a little bronzing. And it's really important to add back the dimension to your face. So when you put on foundation, usually one color, but that's not reality, right? Most of us have, different shading and different things going on, so you have to bring it back. And I do that with contouring. I take my angle brush and my MAC contour. And I like to use powder, and this is really simple. Just follow your jawline and just follow that. adding back dimension to your face. Nothing crazy now. We're gonna add some blush, which is one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes I admit I can go a little crazy. So I really recommend you finding a neutral blush that will go with multiple different types of lipstick. So ladies, women of color, that hot, bright pink blush usually is not a good look. Now, if that's what you're going for, that 80s look, it's fine. But berry blushes, you can't really go wrong. This one is by NYX. I use it often. It's called Desert Rose. Take a little bit, start off small, start off light, and you're gonna go right on top of the contour. That's a good tip to know where to place your blush. So right on top, and you're gonna blend in with the contour. All right, now it's time to do the eyes. Now I find that a lot of women are a little afraid to do eyeliner, but I'm gonna show you this tip that I learned from a woman at a counter years ago, and let me tell you, it still works and it's super simple, I promise. Anyone at any level of makeup ability can do this. So brown is a really good choice. It's neutral enough and it's not too much, because remember, we're at work, you're going to the boardroom or in the classroom, so you don't want your makeup to scream like, hey, I'm going to the club or I'm going into a hot date. You want to look professional, you want to have impact, so I find brown is a really great option. So here's the step. Take your pencil and you're gonna make a V. You're only gonna go in about 1/3 of the way. Start with underneath. Now don't worry about getting it perfect, because you're gonna go over top of it with some powder. Now here is a very important tip. You don't want to skip this. Now we use waterproof, so that's gonna help keep it in place, but you always want to set it. Anytime you have a cream, you want to go over top with a powder to set it. Same way like we did with our concealer, we put powder over top to help it stay in place. This is a tip you don't want to skip. So I have a smudger brush, short smudger brush. You take a brown that's similar color, any kind of brown shadow will do, and then you're gonna set that eyeliner in place. So simple. Now one thing I like to do is I like to give a little flick up. So instead of keeping the eyes closed in, I go out just a tad to make a little bit of a flick. It helps to just elongate the eyes. Bam, look at that, almost done. Okay, remember when I said anytime you have a cream, you have to put powder on top? Well, that includes the foundation. So you want to take a loose powder or a pressed powder. You cannot go wrong with the MAC Mineral Skin Finish. So I take my fluffy brush and I'm just gonna set my face with this powder. It's also a good time if you've gone a little overboard with your blush like I sometimes do, you can tone it down with this face powder as well. Okay, face is just about done. Now it's time to finish up the eyes with some mascara. I've been using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and it's relatively inexpensive. You can find it at any convenience store, your CVS's, your Walgreens. Just gonna roll the brush. Hey there, lashes. And here's another tip for ladies like myself. Your eyelashes touch under your eyes, especially the bottom ones. So at the top, you use just regular mascara. For the bottom lashes, use waterproof. Last but not least are the lips. So it's winter time, so I'd like to use a color that's more deep, more impact, and then also depends on what you're doing. So if you have a power meeting, you get your power red out. If it's just like an everyday day at work, neutrals, or whatever you like. Now it's important not just to line the outside of your lip, but to fill it in completely, because as throughout the day, when your lipstick wears down, it'll wear down evenly, and you won't have that horrible when your lipstick is gone, you won't have the horrible outside line and bare lips. It looks crazy, and most of us are so busy throughout the day, we don't have time to continuously reapply the lipstick. So you want to feel confident that as it's wearing down after you have your coffee or your lunch, you still look decent. Last tip before you finish, take your finger, run it through. That prevents the horrible lipstick on your teeth, gets rid of all the excess lipstick, and you're ready to go. So let me put it all together and then we're done. Look, it's come together, ready to go.